I was so excited just meeting out there today. On what I saw today, I toured Castle and toured your campus. You people have a lot of resources. You are so far ahead of the game in terms of what most places have that if you put your minds and heads to it, there's no question that you'll move forward. That still doesn't eliminate that whole business about early childhood education. We haven't left this yet. But education is going to be key here. It's going to be critical. Your future, I've looked at the the rendering there by your architect of your new medical center. You got two powerful economic engines in the medical center and in the university, both of which are knowledge economies. They're perfect examples of the knowledge economy. You should prosper, but again, it seems so important. When I talk to a lot of people, you didn't seem to be as enthusiastic about this community as I am about you. I mean, you got a lot going for you. And so maybe I need to slap you upside the other head to say, get with it, gang. You got a lot here. Now, let's go back to that meeting. And we had that meeting, and all those things transpired just as I told you. And then one guy stood up and said, look, we're in a knowledge economy. How many people in this audience know how to use a computer? And almost nobody raised their hand. Not in this audience. In Houston, Minnesota, almost nobody raised their hand. Most of them were scared to death of a computer. Had no idea how to use a computer. So, how do you remedy that? Well, here's what he did. He said, I'm going to go around the state of Minnesota and find somebody that wants to give away their old computers. He actually started at Mayo Clinic in Rochester, Minnesota, one of the finest medical centers in the world, and said, you people got a lot of really nice computers which go out of date pretty quickly. What do you do with them? He said, well, we try to recycle them. How about letting me recycle them for you? He loaded up truckloads of computers, brought them down to Houston, and gave one to every household in Houston that didn't already have one. Now, how did they learn to use the computer? At the school, right? We taught them. Who do you suppose the server is for these computers? The school. When you turn on your computer, what you are linked to is the school. That's exactly what they wanted to do. In a knowledge economy, you've restructured a little tiny rural community around the school. You're connected to the school every time you turn on your computer. And the communication goes back and forth. Whether you have a child there or not, we want you to be connected. Now, that happened in a rural community in southeast Minnesota. And the kinds of things that you can do here in Merced, my God, 2 hours from the Silicon Valley, 2.5 hours from the Silicon Valley. The resources you have access to here just is mind-boggling to poor little old country boys like me. I'm just overwhelmed. I hope you feel such a sense of pride of what you're capable of doing, and then get on with doing it. Let's move to another story real quick. Let's give you time to stretch. Is that okay to give everybody a chance to stretch? And a good friend of mine is a man by the name of Willie Morris. Willie wrote a book called North Toward Home. And in the book he says that he grew up as a Methodist, but after a while he couldn't sit in those hard seats. And when his seats gave out, his religion and faith gave out shortly thereafter.